That is just enormously big ash timber. So this job here is just basically all river bottom timber. There's a few walnut in here, a few bur oak scattered out, but mainly it's ash. And a lot of people ask us, because we cut a fair amount of ash from time to time, people ask us constantly about the emerald ash borer. I'm not saying it's not around and I don't see it from time to time, but for the most part, the ash we cut, tall, healthy trees. Now that one does have kind of a dead limb. It's got some limbs in it kind of starting to go, but if you look at the base of that tree, it's got a big swell base. So that tree's not in real good health. Now, some of these other big ones I've cut this morning, like what Dad's cut, there's not a thing wrong with them, and they're monsters. Just as healthy as can be, but they're mature trees, and it's time for them to come down, give these younger ones a chance to grow. I'm a firm believer if people would manage and harvest their timbers a little better, our overall timber quality might be a little healthier as a whole. So definitely go in here and kind of thin some of this bigger stuff out. We're not cutting anything real small. You can see there's a lot of good sized trees right in here, but we're only taking just the very biggest and the very mature trees out of here. Some of these maple I've cut here on the riverbank have fallen back in the river. That's not a problem, because you can see there, what I do is I just grab them with a skidder and I drag all the top up here on the bank and get everything out of the creek. Now it does make the trees a little dirtier, dragging them kind of up that bank through the mud, but like I said, you get your tops out of the creek, and that's the main thing, not to make too big of a mess down there. And I know, the first time this creek gets on a royal tear, because it will, it does every year, it's gonna wash these tops. It doesn't matter if we're even up here, kind of up a little higher up. This creek and a lot of these creeks over here, when they get heavy floods, they get big. You can see the cut bank over there on that side, which that's part of this farm as well. There's not much you can do about that. I mean, anytime you log on the creek or river, that's just part of what happens. That's part of life. That's part of the ecosystem. That's nature. But we'll do what we can to keep it from making such a mess. Now, hopefully these tops, when it does get up, it just kind of hangs up in these other trees where if they're down in the creek, who knows where they'll end up and go. So we just try to keep it as clean as possible. And some of these maple are pretty good. Some of them are pretty ornery. We'll take a look at some maple later on the deck. That's actually what Dad's cutting further down. I'm trying to finish up just a few maple and ash, what's kind of left on this little bottleneck right here. Then I've been seeing Dad with some big trees down, and we'll look at them on the way out. That's a pretty decent spread of softwood, what we call softwood, ash, maple, a few hackberry, a couple walnut in there, mainly ash and maple. Real heavy on the ash. Pretty good pile. Probably, oh, we're probably pushing probably 18,000 feet, just a rough guess. Trees are big, trees are tall, several of them. We might just have one or two more in there. Like I said, it's not bad just for a few acres on this side. There's another little parcel right up here that kind of comes across the creek. And we've got this piece of ground I'm actually sitting on right now. We've drug these logs out on. We've got it to log too, and there's some of it on the creek as well. We've got the next place to look at above us, or below us here, excuse me, on the creek. And this track here back above on the creek is kind of pending, which I think there's quite a bit of timber in there, so hopefully we'll know something on it here in the next day or so. Generally, I'm not, it's not like we really hunt or pursue this softwood a lot. I remember years ago when I first started logging full-time with Dad, when I was 17, it seemed like we cut a lot more river bottom stuff, and I absolutely love cutting. I love cutting maple and ash. I've always loved, even when all I did was run the skidder, I loved dragging maple and ash. I just liked working in the river bottom. Anymore, I don't mind buying this river bottom timber. I actually prefer to buy it over upland oak, but still, you know, we primarily, we're just walnut, bur oak, stuff like that. That's what we primarily do, but every now and then it is fun to kind of throw in some stuff like this because it is fun to cut. Hey guys, if you like what you see, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel for all of our latest videos.